Yesterday I started the plasma fire confirmation video over here at this tree line and was working my way this way towards this rest stop. Now I'm going to work my way that way a little bit just to show you that for about half mile of the coastline here on Bear Lake at the Utah end of it, the southernmost end of Bear Lake, these plasma fired pieces of wood are all over, and I'm going to show you some that are absolute confirmation of electro-fried wood. So now these pieces are right here on the trail. People would say they could have come from the barbecue pit, but I know they didn't. And the one that I'll show you here in just a minute will be another 100% proof that this is plasma fire. Onward. There's little pieces all over the ground like this, but to the average person that's not convincing, so I'm going to show you one that is. This isn't the one that I was talking about. But when you've got the eyes, you can see plasma fired wood scattered all along the beach here. I forgot to hit the record again. What I was saying is that there's these little pieces scattered all over that if you got the eyes, you can see it, but I'm going to show you a piece up here a little further that doesn't require the 2 years of research that I've got invested in this to be able to see that it's electro-fried wood. And these little pieces are scattered all over the ground. That one's 100% positive because it's got the end circle burnt, and it wasn't even sticking out of the ground or out of a tree. It burned right there where it sits. So as the electricity comes up through the ground, it goes into the wood and comes out the tips, even though it's not connected to a tree where the roots lead the electricity up and out the end of the branch, even just sitting on the ground like that. For some reason it comes out the end of the branch. And like I said, you're about to see one that's 100% proof. The average person would think that someone scattered the remnants of a campfire. Most of them burn the side that's facing down, so maybe this one's already been flipped by someone else. Maybe these are burning differently than the ones I've seen in the past. These do all seem to be burnt on the top side. So here's the piece of 1000% proof plasma fired wood. For people who haven't been following along for the last couple of years, there's the circular burn pattern at the end of the branch I've spoken of. There it is again. And all these little spots, here and here, but all these little spots, like here where it randomly protrudes and comes out, the electricity comes out like these little spots here. Let's flip it over. It looks like we got some cow pattern under there. So seeing this one, there's a similar one to this at the other end at the very beginning of my Bear Lake plasma fire confirmation video that I did yesterday. So all of these little spots that just kind of burn all by themselves. This one's actually got it down to a little bit of charcoal looking. It's charcoaled the surface. Yep. So this is the one that I was talking about that I said I would show you 1000% confirmation. So while I'm showing you these little pieces, you don't have to consider, well, I don't know, maybe someone just like kicked out the remnants of a fire pit and scattered them across the ground. When you've seen this, you know that all those little pieces I'm showing you are exactly what I'm saying they are. So I could show you a bunch more little pieces, but it's kind of redundant. What I'm saying is I'm sure that I could walk the entire circumference of the whole lake and not walk 1,000 yards without seeing some pieces of plasma fire. Look at this big old hunk. And you got other pieces right by it that didn't burn, but I know that's plasma fire. Average person would look at this and say, someone burnt that in a fire pit. then how did they leave these unburned spots? That's pretty tricky. I want them to show me the trick. Ooh, you can even see the grain in the wood. This might even be one to keep because it stains. Like right here, you can see the grain weaving back and forth. The electricity stains it from the inside to where you can see once you scrub them and lacquer them and stuff, you can see the grain. It's got like a glaze on the inside. But anyway, that's just another piece of plasma fired wood. All by its lonesome, tucked up here in the weeds. So, again, this may have to do with the idea that the lower levels get more electricity. The electricity flows like water, leaving the high spots unburned in these fields where it burns. And because we're at a low spot, we're getting ambient background electricity at higher levels to where it's just connecting with random small pieces and burning them in that way, I think. Watch John Keen's Best Damn Podcast from last night. I'll include the link in the description. He knows what's up, and he's showing you a compilation of the craziest shit that's come in over the last week, including floating cars. Yeah, so if gravity isn't what they tell us, and the only forces are electromagnetism, during that pole shift, the force that keeps us down, that we call gravity, might be changing. Because there's 2 or 3 different instances where street cams catch pictures of these cars floating. And it's so far out there for people to comprehend, they just assume it was photoshopped and move on. But I believe that's why we saw all those cars that were flipped over in the Paradise, California fires, is because this electromagnetism goes through the ground in waves, positive, negative. And when it hits one of these cars with a positive on one side and a negative on the other, just like when you bring 2 magnets together and you're trying to push them together towards the sides that aren't attractive, towards the sides that are repelling, you keep pushing them together and then it flips that quick. And I'll bet the people that watch those cars flip over, watch them instantly, sitting like this, go wham, and then stop. They flipped so quick that if they wouldn't have stopped, they would have continued rotating and rolling. But it was the same magnetism that caught them on the reverse side that stopped it, that flipped it the first time. And it's that same electromagnetism that has cars lifting their ass end up and starting to float and shit. And most people would watch that and, it's too far, man. You're a sucker. You fell for some CGI Photoshop shit. Because they don't know. So, here's a pro tip to WC33. Speak to those who resonate with your message rather than having contention with those who don't, and you'll have a much more enjoyable YouTube experience. Just thought I'd throw that out to you, bro, because I feel that it would raise your vibe a lot and you would enjoy the experience a lot more. Because I notice you're focusing most of your attention on those who are not resonating, but they have a dissonance. Connect with those who resonate with your message, and you'll enjoy this process a lot more. Because if you listen to the douche nozzles, looking at you, nutball. I'll include a link in the description of one of my videos titled "The Truth Will Set Nutball Free." And it shows one of the best examples of all these trees that are hollowed out from the inside, look like they got hit with a bomb more than a fire. Because this guy at one time was saying, those trees are burned like that from the inside because they're dead on the inside. They die, they dehydrate on the inside, and they're still alive on the outside. And that's why they burn on the inside like that. What other lies is the spirit going to tell you to tell people next? I don't get trolls like that anymore. Because they see that they should probably go tell someone else what a dumbass they are. Because something supernatural going on here, whether it's the good spirit or the bad spirit, you probably don't want to mess with that. Go run your pie hole somewhere else. And I think most of the people kind of, find someplace else to run their pie hole. Because they see that what's going on here is some serious shit. And be it the good spirit or the bad spirit, this guy's tapped into something supernatural and playing with forces behind the curtain that I should probably watch my tongue and go tell someone else all of my great theories and ideas and how they're lying and falling for CGI and all the rest. These are all plasma fired pieces I'm showing you here. The way you can tell is that little unburnt spot right there. Fire don't do that. Fire don't do that. And leave the rest of this that burnt. This is charcoaled up. That's unburnt. Just for those that don't know why I seem to think this is all plasma fire. Go watch my back 100 videos on it and you'll have a better understanding of what it is we're looking at and why I'm so certain of what it is that I see. Just another piece. And that's probably about enough. I could probably show you another 100, and I will just because that's how I roll, but there might be something else in this video that occurs to me, like John Keene's floating cars. That's not the only thing. He packed a lot into last night's episode. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I had to go to bed, but I'm dropping the link for you in the description, and I'm gonna watch the rest of it. Just a tiny, tiny spot that no one else would see. And in that one nutball, truth will set nutball free. At the time I was still contending with those who would challenge the assertions I'm making, especially when they say the spirit is lying to you. What more lies is the spirit gonna have you tell people next? Lay them out flat in the comments section, but don't make an extra video dedicated to those douchebags, because then everyone else has to sit and listen to it. Some plasmy wood, and I can tell you that was plasma fire. Here's a little burn pit, and that's what real burned wood ends up looking like. Okay, last one, I promise. Because I could walk along the beach all day long and show you these pieces. But it's too beautiful of a day to do that. Let it come and let it be. Okay, it was more beautiful yesterday. We got a little blue coming through over there though. It's gonna be a beautiful day. And so that is the rest stop that we started at. And if I could raise the visuals, there we go. Yesterday I made a video starting at that tree line, walking back towards the rest area, and I only got halfway before I ended the video because I had already showed you like a bunch of different pieces, including one that's absolute 100% plasma fire with the little electricity spots coming through, like this one that I mentioned over here is. So yesterday I showed you all the pieces from between here and here. This video has been some of the pieces, not all of them, between there and here. And it was only because as I was walking toward the water's edge over here to make a video about dragons and Bear Lake and the lake monster, Utah lake monster, and the grim ghost tours, as I'm walking out to the water's edge, there's a 2x4 burned piece of plasma wood right in my path. I know I said that would be the last piece, but it's this unburned spot, this unburned area here that gives it away when the other side is that burnt. It's just laying here, you know, on the beach. Oh, there's a beach up there on the Idaho end of Bear Lake. I gotta go check it out. It's huge. North Beach or something they call it. I see it on the map and I was like, what the heck is that? I'm pretty sure it's a giant beach that goes across the whole lake like a big sandbar, and it has a road. I saw this yesterday. It looks like this is one of those Presto logs, and it too has a little bit of plasma fire burn on it. I don't know why this thing going through it or how that works, but the fact that it's burnt all along here, that ain't how someone tries to start their fire when using one of these Presto logs. So I'm pretty sure even the Presto log got a little bit of plasma burn, because this one don't have the burns. It's got this groove going through it. I'm sure that's, you know, part of the lighting process or whatever. But yeah, that's what that is. That's a little bit of plasma burn on the Presto log.